Hey everyone, Elliot from Mel's Auto Care here. Today I'll be replacing this caliper on this customer's BMW. The piston inside the caliper is locked on here, so it's not moving back as far as it should, which is causing the pads to lock onto the discs here and damage the discs and the pads on the inside of the caliper. On most cars you have pads and discs, and this one here you have pads, discs, drums and shoes. So this is slightly different. It's just like changing a front caliper on these ones though. So I'll flip it on the back now and I'll show you how we do it. So we're on the back, here's this big brake pipe here, as you can see coming in, that carries the hydraulic fluid to the caliper, and we're on the back here. I'm not sure if you can see it so well. See it bouncing back there on my finger. That's the handbrake cable that goes straight into the back of the shoes, and the back of the disc I guess. So we're going to be removing this caliper. First thing we're going to do is clamp off the brake line, so we're not losing brake fluid everywhere. Try getting as close to the caliper as you can so you don't have to bleed out as much of the pipe later on. Sorry, it's just off camera, but it's literally just a clamp, like a fancy pair of pliers I guess. Once that's clamped on then, you're going to need to get a 14mm spanner, pop it on the nut here and just loosen it up. Once that's loose, you're going to spin it in the front. Okay, so your brake pipe's back here. That's nice and loose. We're not going to remove that yet. We're going to remove the caliper first and then spin it off. So we need to move this bracket here. Now just put a pry bar in here and just flick it out. Once the little tabs are flicked out from the front, just put it on the back and then pop it out the front, out the back, sorry. Just give it a big and break it through. Don't actually break it there. With that clip off now, just flip her on the back. As you can see here, here's our brake clamp here, and here's our hose. You can see it's still loose in there. We're not taking the hose off the caliper, we're going to take the caliper off the hose. So first we need to get this size 7 Allen key in to remove the caliper to carrier sliders. They are. They're like spherical bolts I guess. I'll show you now when I get them out. This bottom one's a little bit tricky to get to, so I'm going to take the top one off and then come back to the bottom one. Okay, so I got this bottom one out, but I had to put my hand in front of the camera, so you couldn't actually see what I was doing, you could just see my hand. So I've edited that out, but it's out, and now we're going to flip around the front and take the caliper off itself. Okay, with those sliders at the back here, it's time to remove the caliper itself. Like I said, the caliper is seized on, so you're going to need a bit of force. So I'm going to use a pry bar. I'm using quite a big one here, but that's extreme. You could just use a little one, and we're just going to work it back and forth until it pops off. Just take a moment to show you the heat damage to the back of this pad here. You can see all this protective stuff is melted and cracked away. And then just keep working it off until it flops off. That wasn't ideal because you don't want to damage the hose, so try holding it with your hand rather than just flopping on the floor like that. Once it's out, just spin it off like so. There we go. And now I'm going to pause the camera as I change the discs and pads, and then we'll go hop straight to putting the caliper back on. There's our new discs and pads, and here's our new caliper. The pad's already sitting in it with the grease on it. We're just going to screw off this stop on the back. Use the slide pins from the old one, so make sure you clean them up as well and re-grease them. I use a special rubber grease so it doesn't swell it. And then just put the brake pipe back in and twist it back on. Now mount it back on with those slide pins that you just took off. You can see that there's not loads of space there for me to tighten up these slide pins, and that's why I had to edit out the bottom one because my hand was right in the way of the camera, because my camera is down in the corner there. But I've brought it out here now for this part of the recording. Just go ahead and tighten them all the way up. Don't over tighten them, you don't want to do them too loose. Just try to play it by feel if you haven't got a torque wrench, but ideally use a torque wrench. I'm going off a feel just through experience, but if you haven't got that experience, pick yourself up a torque wrench. Got little caps to put on the end of the rubber housing where the slide pin goes to stop them from corroding, so make sure you put them back on. And tighten up the brake pipe all the way at the back. Again, not too tight with one of these. You don't want to strip the threads. And then remove the brake clamp, or the brake hose clamp to be technical. Then put the retaining clip back on and then bleed it. I'm going to gravity bleed it whilst I go and do the other side, just because that's easiest for me. But there should be another video on how to bleed it. Thanks for watching guys, like and subscribe, cheers!